Picture £10,000 sitting in your bank account right now. To most people in the United Kingdom, that is just a number on a screen, a comfort blanket, something you glance at, feel briefly safe, and then forget about entirely. But there is a psychological ceiling that traps almost everyone, and it is this. They see £10,000 as money to be kept. The wealthy see the exact same figure as a seed to be planted. Because inside the right tax wrapper, that £10,000 is not a number at all, it is a seed. And given enough time and the right soil, a single seed can quietly grow into a six-figure forest. The tragedy is not that people lack the seed. Most people have it, or will have it. The tragedy is that they wait too long to plant it, and a seed left forgotten in a drawer never becomes anything at all. So here is exactly how to plant it, step by step, for 2026. Step 1. The circuit breaker. Before you invest a single penny, you need a circuit breaker, and this is where most eager beginners get it catastrophically wrong. They pour everything they have into the market, feel clever for a month, and then the moment life throws a real bill at them, they are forced to sell at the worst possible time. Think of it like the foundations of a skyscraper. Before a single visible floor goes up, engineers drive deep concrete pilings far down into the ground. Nobody admires those pilings. Nobody photographs them. But here is the truth that every engineer knows. The taller you intend to build, the deeper those pilings must go. Without them, the higher you climb, the more certain it becomes that the whole structure topples the moment the ground shifts. And the ground, the economy, always shifts eventually. Your pilings are an emergency fund. 3 months of your essential costs, rent or mortgage, food, energy, transport, held in a high-yield, easy-access savings account, not invested, not locked away, simply there, quiet and boring, holding everything above it upright. Build your pilings first. Then, and only then, do you start building upward. Step 2. The ISA shield. Now we plant. And your first and most important decision is not what you buy, it is where you keep it. Meet the Stocks and Shares ISA. This is your tax fortress. Every single year, every adult in the United Kingdom is handed an allowance of £20,000 that can be sheltered inside this wrapper. And everything that grows inside it, every gain, every dividend, is completely invisible to the taxman. No capital gains tax, no dividend tax, nothing. And in 2026, that shield matters more than it has in a generation. HMRC has been quietly, relentlessly tightening the screws. The tax-free dividend allowance outside a wrapper has been cut to just £500. The capital gains exemption has been slashed to only £3,000. And from this April, the tax charged on dividends outside your fortress climbed again, the basic rate rising to 10.75% and the higher rate to 35.75%. So read this next line carefully, because it is the whole game. The wrapper is now worth more than the investments inside it. 2 people can buy the identical fund on the identical day. In 30 years, the one who used the ISA keeps everything. The one who did not hands a growing slice to HMRC year after year, forever. Same seed, wildly different forest. Step 3. The global engine. So the fortress is built. What do you actually put inside it? Here is where beginners chase disaster. They try to pick the one winning company, the hot stock, the tip from a mate down the pub. That is not investing. That is gambling with extra steps. Instead, think of a modern passenger aircraft. It does not fly on a single engine. It flies on many, deliberately, because if one engine fails high above the clouds, the others hold the plane steady and everyone lands safely. A one-engine plane is one failure away from catastrophe. A multi-engine plane is built to survive failure. Your money should fly exactly the same way. Instead of betting on one company or one country, you buy a low-cost, broad-market index fund, an ETF that holds thousands of companies right across the developed world in a single purchase. If one sector stumbles, the others carry you. If one country stalls, the rest fly on. You are not trying to pick the winner. You are quietly owning the entire world's progress and letting the whole global economy work for you at once. Low cost, broadly diversified, and beautifully boring. Step 4. The SIPP pivot. Now, the ISA is brilliant, but there is a second wrapper, and for one specific moment it can hand you an instant, guaranteed win that the ISA simply cannot. It is called the SIPP, the self-invested personal pension, and here is the magic. When you contribute to a SIPP, The government refunds the tax you already paid on that money and adds it straight back in. For a basic rate taxpayer, you put in £8,000 and the government's 20% tax relief tops it up, adding £2,000 and turning your contribution instantly into £10,000. That is free money working for you before your investment has grown a single penny. And if you are a higher rate taxpayer, you can claim back even more. So which do you choose? The rule is simple. The ISA gives you flexibility. You can take your money out at any age, for any reason. The SIPP locks it away until your late 50s, but pays you that instant government top-up for the wait. If you might need this money before retirement, use the ISA. If this is money you are genuinely certain you will not touch for decades, the SIPP's top-up is one of the closest things to free money the entire system offers. Step 5. The momentum habit. Here is the step that separates people who dabble from people who truly build wealth. The first £10,000 is your lump sum, but real fortunes are never built by a single push. They are built by a steady monthly flow. Picture a heavy mechanical flywheel. When it is standing perfectly still, the first few turns are brutally hard. You heave with everything you have, and it barely moves. You push again, and it creaks forward by an inch. It feels like nothing is happening at all. But you keep feeding it, a steady contribution every single month, and slowly the wheel begins to gather speed. And here is the beautiful part. Once that flywheel is truly spinning, momentum takes over. Compounding does around 90% of the work, while all you provide are small, steady pushes. Your early contributions are the exhausting first turns. Your future self simply keeps the wheel spinning. So set up a direct debit and automate it. Whatever you can spare each month, invest it the day you are paid, before you ever get the chance to spend it. That habit, not the size of your first deposit, is what quietly makes ordinary people wealthy. Now let us talk about the world you are actually investing into. As of 2026, the Bank of England base rate sits at 3.75%, with inflation hovering around 2.6%. And after years of savers being told to simply hold cash, a hard truth is resurfacing. Cash is no longer king. A savings account paying you a little above inflation feels safe, but it barely keeps pace with rising prices, and it will never build you real wealth. The personal savings allowance has not moved in years, meaning more of your interest is quietly taxable too. Cash preserves. Productive assets, companies, dividends, global growth are what actually compound. In a world where interest rates are drifting downward and the tax net around cash is tightening, leaving your entire future parked in a savings account is not the safe choice everyone imagines. It is simply the slow one. So, here is the lesson sitting underneath all 5 steps. The single most powerful force in investing is not picking the perfect fund. It is not timing the market flawlessly. It is time in the market. It is the sheer number of years your seed is left in the soil to grow, which is precisely why your life 10 years from now is being quietly decided by what you do with this first £10,000 today. Plant it badly, or leave it forgotten in the drawer, and you arrive exactly where you started. Plant it well, sheltered in the fortress, spread across the world, and fed a little every month, and you give it the one thing it truly needs: time. The forest never grows because you found some magic seed. It grows because you planted an ordinary one early, and then had the patience to let it. So build your pilings. Raise your fortress, start the flywheel, and plant it today. Not someday, today. If you learned something, make sure to like and hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.